I inherited it from my mom. She was given this in 1931 by a friend of the family's. And prior to that, it had been in a window display at Macy's in downtown San Francisco.
And you know, it's an automaton.
Okay.
And it was made by a French firm, Lambert. Leopold Lambert was one of the great makers of French automatons, starting in the late 19th century and well into the early part of the 20th century. This is a classic. It's a magician. When it operates, he bangs the cone with his wand 2 or 3 times, lifts it, and various things appear. Mm-hmm. All this is accompanied by a music box. These were made not as toys. These were made for the well-to-do to decorate their homes and to intrigue children, but they were not to touch. They were fairly expensive in their day. After winding it, we pull this and let's see the action. As if by magic, the watch is gone.
It worked.
The values fluctuate depending on condition. This one has some condition issues. It has some condition pluses. It needs some mechanical work. It has a little fraying on the collar here. This example would fall in the range for an auction estimate of somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize it would be that much.
As a small boy, my father ran a boat for some people in northwestern Montana, and his employer's wife gave this to my mother and dad when I was probably 2 or 3 years old.
Okay.
So I was very fascinated with it when I got an opportunity to see it.
Well, what you have here is an automaton, which is a French clockwork doll or music box. Not really made for children. It was made by a man, Leopold Lambert, in Paris, between 1889 and 1900. We'll start him up. And this particular automaton has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movements. The more movements an automaton has, the more value they have.
Okay.
The nice part about this piece is it's completely, totally original. There's no redressing, no repainting. There's no cracking to the paper mache. Lambert's mark is marked on his key. On the back of this box, we turn it around, even while it's playing, you'll see the key which says LB, which is revolving while we're talking. Close that up again. Turn him around. Any idea to the value of the piece?
Have no idea whatsoever, Richard.
I've seen these things bring in fair condition between $6,000 and $8,000.
Wow.
Now this one is absolutely perfect. Original silk clothing, original wig, hat, shoes, music plays. I would place them in the range between $12,000 to $15,000.
Wow.
After my grandpa retired, he started refurbishing music boxes. So he collected hundreds throughout the years, and when he passed away, all of the grandkids got 1 or 2 of their favorites.
And you said you wanted the monkey in the hat.
Monkey in the hat.
All right.
It was a popular one.
So do you know anything about its origin, who made it, its manufacturing date, anything like that?
I have absolutely no clue.
All right. Well, what I can tell you is that it's French. It was manufactured by a firm called Roulet and Decamps, operating out of Paris. They were in operation from the mid-1800s all the way through late 20th century. So what we have here is a monkey in a hat. And what you would do is you would wind up this mechanism right here with the key, and you would depress this little button here. Why don't you give it a play? Let's see how it works.
There he goes.
There we go. The monkey that is inside would pop out. He would bare his teeth, grin, go up and down, and this monkey itself is made out of animal fur, likely rabbit. It's got a leather face with glass eyes. Do you have any idea of the value, what you think it might be worth?
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, at auction, I would probably estimate it in the range of $1,500 to $3,000.
All right, that's great.
My husband has an aunt, Betsy, and she has, over the years, collected Automata dolls. And she was very nice and generous and gave me this doll for Christmas 2 years ago. And I think she just wanted to make more room in her house so she could collect a few more. But this is very special. I don't really know a whole lot about her. I think Aunt Betsy bought her maybe 10 or 12 years ago, but she does not remember what she paid for the doll.
What you have is what we refer to as an automaton, or mechanical French doll. It's made by the Jumeau company.
Oh, it is?
What's wonderful about it, many times the mechanism is in a box and the doll stands on the box. But the mechanism on this doll is actually right inside the torso of the doll. The head is very adult, which is very unusual. They're usually child-like looking faces. And this has another unusual feature. It has an open mouth with teeth. That doesn't always translate into more valuable. It just is very unusual to see this head with teeth. This doll was made probably between 1880 and 1905. I wanted to demonstrate how it works. There's a key underneath the skirt here, and then there's this lever that you pull out,
Right.
and then we can see it operate. And she has a surprise, of course. There it comes. The doll is bisque. The arms are bisque. The chest plate is bisque, which is unusual on this doll. Usually the clothing comes up to the neck.
Okay.
The shoes are not original. The hat is not original. The dress is not original. But I believe it's well done, whoever dressed it. This doll is the, quote, Cadillac of mechanical dolls. It is an amazing doll. And on the retail market, we're talking about $30,000 to $35,000.
And she gave this to me?
And
oh my goodness.
Yes.
She may want it back.
Thank you again for bringing
No,
it. It's
Totally
just
shocked
wonderful.
and surprised.
This has been in my husband's family, I think, for a few generations. When I met my mother-in-law, it was in her home. And I believe before that, it was in her family home in Germany.
It's called an Automaton Diorama. We have this rather wonderfully put together scene here, which is made out of cardboard and paper scrunched up and painted in this really folky way. And we're going to see it in action. A lot of the movements that they contain were made in Switzerland and then put into dioramas that were made in Austria and elsewhere in Europe. Dates from around 1890, so it's sort of late Victorian. And it would have been, you know, something in the home to amuse. All in all, I just think it's a wonderful piece of whimsy, really. If this was to come up for auction now, I would estimate it somewhere in the region of $1,500 to $2,000.
Great.
I got this from my friend Jim, and he was the funniest man I've ever known. And he collected all sorts of things. And he knew that I never liked this. I always thought it was really creepy, so when he passed away, he left it to me as a joke.
Why didn't you like it?
I don't know, the faces just kind of creep me out. I know it's probably a very important piece, and it reminds me of Jim.
How long have you had it?
Only a couple years.
Have you done any research on it at all?
No, I just by looking at it, I think it's Victorian, but that's all I...
Very Victorian.
Okay.
This is a German automaton. Sometimes you're referred to as mechanicals, made in between, I would say, 1898 and 1910. You can see what the subject matter is. It plays music, and it also moves That's the definition of a mechanical. If you look, it's an older woman here, and normally her mouth moves. If you turn it around, you can see the key wind mechanism here and the key that turns it on and off. Unfortunately, it's not working. Did it ever work when you first got it?
It did. In fact, that was one of the things that I kind of thought was creepy when it moved. But it did work even as recently as this past week.
Normally, if it was working, the eyes on the dolls would move, and also they would be drinking tea. It is sort of creepy if you look at it. Sometimes these had labels on them. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a label, and there were various German firms that made these mechanicals. The heads are made of paper mache.
Okay.
The clothes are all period. The box looks like the original covering for the box. I think these items have been added at some point in time. It's not the most attractive mechanical I've seen, but it's a nice version of it, and its subject matter is good. On today's market, at auction, this would bring in between $1,500 and $2,500.
Okay, all right, thank you. Well, Jim would be happy to know that.